Panic mode after Trump's DHS secretary issues shocking announcement. No one thought President Trump would dare, but he did. As Democrats keep on dragging their feet and play the obstruction amusement, the opportunity has already come and gone for the Trump Organization to play a little hardball to get things down. Department of Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly has done quite recently that by informing individuals from Congress that the organization won't be twisting around in reverse to safeguard President Barack Obama's 2012 Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals amnesty program from lawful difficulties. Kelly dropped that news on individuals from the Democrat Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and he has only a straightforward demand for them to ensure the bill survives. To put it plainly, Kelly needs individuals from Congress to begin getting it done on an immigration bill that bodes well. Conservative Tribune has the scoop. Speaking in a closed-door meeting with members of the predominantly Democrat Congressional Hispanic Caucus, Kelly informed them that if they wanted to ensure the amnesty program survived, they would have to engage with the Republicans in a bipartisan bill of immigration bill to protect illegals legally. That appears like a genuinely basic demand. However, you can make certain that blood is bubbling on the left because of the firm position. That has a tendency to happen when the temperature gets swung up to awkward levels. Response to the news has been blended, without a doubt. This is what he's told by different attorneys, that if it goes to court it might not survive, DHS spokesman David LePan said about Kelly's remarks. If the Congress does not pass a bill protecting the program, they are leaving it in the hands of the courts to make a decision. It was just too much for a visibly shaken Illinois Representative Luis Gutierrez, who dramatically declared in both English and Spanish of the Attorney General, "Jeff Sessions will say, deport them. If you will count on Jeff Sessions to save DACA, then DACA is finished." Democrats will without a doubt contort Kelly's basic demand utilizing their protected fear-mongering strategies. In view of late examples of conduct from the party, it's protected to state that they'll exaggerate their hand once more. Ideally, the Trump Organization will keep on applying pressure on Democratic leaders to really begin completing things. As the obstructionists in Congress keep on acting like petulant children, the ideal opportunity for getting along is finished. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H.T. Conservative Tribune. Caught. Deep state leader spying on Trump campaign. He's the one that's been directing traffic while deflecting rumors of involvement. The fake news industrial complex keeps on walking on with its Russia agitation. The Washington Post specifically is completely powered by an obsession with the Russians, its topic including so unmistakably in its announcing as to Virgin zeal. At the present time, its essential target is Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The WAPO prepared this agitation with a couple of all-around situated pieces on how Trump and his guides were trying things out on replacing Sessions with Giuliani. The truth of the matter is that this story was the seed and the forthcoming story of arrangement amongst Sessions and the Russians was to be the nurturing water to the paranoid fear. Since they've neglected to get a dependable balance, it's presently up to Mueller and the deep state to keep leaking goodies of data increased through illicitly gotten unmasked NSA metadata. With the admission of significantly all the more condemning data that these discussions amongst Sessions and Russian agents were recorded, it appears to be far-fetched that the Republicans should burrow exceptionally far before reaching one stunning decision about who is behind this unmasking outrage: Barack Hussein Obama. Via the Gateway Pundit, fake news WAPO dropped another deep state leak Friday afternoon to squeeze up the Russian hysteria as they claim AG Jeff Sessions spoke to a Russian envoy twice during the 2016 presidential elections. Russian envoy Sergei Kislyak's accounts of two conversations with Jeff Sessions, who was at the time a senator from Alabama, were intercepted by U.S. spy agencies, according to WAPO. This is just another proof that Obama was spying on and unmasking GOP lawmakers during the 2016 presidential election. According to the Washington Post, a Russian ambassador to Washington told his superiors in Moscow that he discussed issues related to the campaign, including policy issues important to Moscow, with Jeff Sessions during the 2016 presidential race, Contrary to public assertions by the embattled Attorney General, according to two current and former U.S. officials. Ambassador Sergei Kislyak's accounts of two conversations with Sessions, then a top foreign policy advisor to Republican candidate Donald Trump, were intercepted by U.S. spy agencies, which monitor communications of senior Russian officials both in the United States and in Russia. Sessions initially failed to disclose his contacts with Kislyak and then said that the meetings were not about the Trump campaign. As TGP previously reported, the Attorney General Jeff Sessions addressed the Senate Intelligence Committee on June. Sessions told the committee that any claims that he was involved with Russia in the campaign was appalling and detestable lie. The Washington Post is unfortunate. They are demonstrating how implanted they are in the Democrat slave trade by jousting with the Trump staff members over an issue that ought to be a prosecution of the Obama organization. Over and over again, these fake news outlets are so centered around Trump hurling a bit of paper out the auto window when the Obama organization was dumping poisonous waste into the Potomac. On the off chance that an appropriate and genuine examination ever gets in progress in reference to this unmasking scandal, it's presumable that toadies will get the fault. Which makes one wonder, if Obama presently can't seem to do anything incorrectly, how horrible of a president would he say he was that almost everyone of the general population under his organization carried out violations without him ever notwithstanding taking note? Goes against rationale or credibility. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H.T. The Gateway. Look what President Trump just defunded, people are boiling mad. As President Trump pushes ahead with his belt-fixing measures keeping in mind the end goal to shrivel the national budget plan, there are certain to be some extremely agitated groups, who are accustomed to getting normal implantations of assets from the government. The vast majority of them are Islamic associations professedly devoted to keeping youthful Muslims from getting radicalized and getting to be jihadis. Actually, President Trump is doubtful about the viability of such projects. Not only did Trump cancel the traditional iftar dinner hosted at the White House to stamp the finish of the Islamic celebration of Ramadan, he has instructed the Department of Homeland Security to quit financing Islamic associations that Trump fondled were in holding their end of the understanding. Vibriat Bart. Administration officials have eliminated 2016 plans to fund Islamic groups allied to former President Barack Obama and declined to schedule a 2017 Islamic iftar dinner where those groups were able to show their political influence to the ambassadors of wealthy Islamic countries. The turnaround was made public on Friday when the Department of Homeland Security announced a revised list of organizations that receive DHS funds to help prevent young Muslims from becoming jihadis. The new list was replaced by the Obama list announced on January 13, 2017, and it dropped a $800,000 grant for an Islamic seminary in Los Angeles, and a $393,000 grant for a related organization, the Muslim Public Affairs Council Foundation. The foundation is a spin-off of the DC-based Muslim Public Affairs Council, whose leaders were frequent advisors to Obama and his deputies, where they lobbied for a national strategy of letting semi-segregated Islamic political communities and groups, but not the FBI, play the leading role in the fight against Islamic terrorism. Secretary Kelly's reasoning is sound. Kelly explained his new pro-integration strategy in a June 22 event held in Congress, where he acknowledged that Islamic terrorists are acting for the sincere religious reasons, saying, "They are out there doing what they think is their religion and think it is what they should do. What I have chosen to do is to take what little money I have in this regard and give it to what I consider to be the time-proven things, law enforcement from an outreach point of view and communities developing relationships. So that there is an open line of communication so they know if they see this, advocacy or preparation for violence, happening in the home or they see it happening, that is to say, the move towards radicalism, or they see it happening in the churches or mosques. They know to call someone before that person typically crosses the line." Probably, President Trump needs to evacuate any government financial help that possibly savage Islamic groups are getting under the appearance of counteracting savagery. Furthermore, We've seen a lot of those. How frequently do we know about FBI attacks on Muslim mosques that are loaded with immense weapon stores? Trump is exhibiting that he has each goal of bringing back America's greatness if the furious left will simply give him the open door. That implies taking out dangers to American power and security that Obama permitted to develop amid his organization. Trump will require each ounce of our help to finish that. What do you think about this? Do not hesitate and write your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for reading. H. T. Briett Bar